What's up, traders? February 27th. My oldest son had an appointment this morning, so I didn't actually get to make any trades. However, I got 3 tickers that I would like to go over with you. 2 were at the bell, 1 was after hours. Let's get right to it. So as you guys can see over my last couple videos, I've really been looking for these moves that are getting super extended. As I get more comfortable with these extended plays, I'm really just waiting for the super extended ones. Here on Durham, this one was at the bell, it was a little bit after the bell. It actually, it comes up, you got a lot of volume coming in. It wasn't constant volume. It actually wasn't really good volume at all. If you come over here and look, this isn't, a typical play that you're going to look for. The next one in FTR you're going to see is a little bit better because it had volume and liquidity. Now, why that's important, when you're making a move up like this, it's a lot easier for a move to keep going with lower liquidity because you don't have enough people, either buying or selling to make a stock move up or down. So when you get this far extended, theoretically she could just keep going because there's not enough people that are willing to sell to bring the price back down. However, when she does get super extended like this away from VWAP, which is what I'm looking for, that's the move that you're looking for. I probably would have traded this. It would have been interesting just because of the volume. However, I would have saw this, big extension move, and you never know. The bid, and that's the other tricky thing with these that have low volume, is a lot of times they'll be really spready. So even though the ask may have been hit here at 906, that does not mean that the bid was out there at 905. The bid could have been all the way down here at 877 for all we know. I wasn't here, so I don't know. But if the bid was up over 9, I'm probably getting in this trade because if you look, I'm just going to draw a quick line here. I'm going to try to draw it next to it, but look how far extended that it's 6% from VWAP. So even if you want to look at it in percentages instead of cents, you would actually get, if you had somewhere above 9, like right above 9, halfway down to VWAP, you're talking 3% return on your money. That's awesome, in such a short amount of time. But again, with the volume, this one is a little bit tricky. I don't recommend lower volume plays just because of the liquidity issues. Liquidity, if you're unsure of that, it could be something else you want to look into. But basically, that's how you get in and out of a trade. If you were to short up here at 9 and you're trying to come down and no one, is buying the stock for you to cover, you can't get out of the stock. And then if it just comes back up, people just keep hitting the ask over and over again. There's nothing you can do because there was no liquidity for you to get out of the trade. The odds of that happening, especially on something like this, there obviously was liquidity. So especially for someone like me who's only trading 200 to 500 shares, that's not going to be an issue. However, it could be an issue if you're trading larger size. So let's move right over to FTR and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about as far as liquidity. Now when we come back and look at the bell here, you can see that liquidity was not ever an issue. The volume was here. The first volume bar was almost 1 million, and then here on out you have pretty much over 200,000 for the first half hour. So what I'm looking for here again is you actually have 2 plays here if you're looking. Now VWAP is coming up as the price rises, right? If the price would have stopped here, the VWAP would have kind of died off here. But as you can see, when it shot up, you can see this little, almost like an L start to form. Oh, I guess it would be a backwards L. You can almost see this, what just happened there? I moved the chart, I guess. You can kind of see like the sharp angle, turn up because of this candle. So if this candle wouldn't have happened like this, it obviously VWAP would not have shot up like this. So after the fact, it's actually harder to read how extended these actually get because they look a lot closer than they were in real time. Because right here, this was still, like VWAP was probably down where the yellow line is now, which doesn't mean anything, that's just the current price. So, but now you see over the course, it kind of, it's a visual thing. However, up here, when she hit a high of 337, this was extended. This was super extended. You're looking for these quick moves. This was definitely up on the intensity scanner. And sure enough, this was a play I would have played 100%. Even if you get in this, even here, say it, even at 325, it still gave you a chance to get out when she dipped back down if you got a bad fill or just read it wrong. But the whole point of this strategy, if you've watched my live trading videos, is when it's making this move, I'm feeling the top. I'm feeling this slowdown. That's why having this yellow price tracker at the current price is awesome, because it's shooting up, shooting up, shooting up, and it's going fast, and then all of a sudden you see that visual of that line slowing down. You kind of get a feel for it, and then you kind of want to give it a second. You don't need to top tick these guys, because they're, the odds are if you get anywhere near the top, a flush is coming. Not a flush per se, but a pullback. As you can see, this was a pullback, and just imagine how awesome this one would have been. And if you're in at even 330, she flushes down to 318, pulls back to 318, whatever you want to call it. There's different terms that people can use for these. Most people call a flush something like over here, where it was kind of consolidated and then it flushes. This is more of just what people would call a pullback. So you get in, say 330, you could take the quick scalp, even somewhere in the 20s, and then she does it right again. Like, she showed strength. I mean, look at the tail on this thing. This bottoming tail is crazy. She tries to come back down, says nope, and then she takes off again. Now again, everything's kind of coming up now. Now this is a little bit different. A lot of traders look for this trade line coming through VWAP to get in. So right here, they might have been seeing this shoot up coming up through VWAP, and that's probably what made this thing continue. However, as you can see, she hits 350, which half dollar and the whole dollar, they're always good resistance and support levels. So in this case, it was used as resistance. She taps right off of it, taps it again. She even gives you a third tap. So this is a 2-minute chart. So you had 5 to 6 minutes to get in anywhere near this 350 area. So I would have probably been in on this first candle as I felt it stopping. So I'm assuming the liquidity was here. I was actually watching this throughout some of the day, and it was pretty much a 1 cent spread all day. And even after hours, it's only 4 cents, so it was probably definitely 1 cent. So I'm probably in 348, 349 here. Just, and then of course, I might be getting a little scared. I see it tapping 350 again. It might even have scared me out to get out on one of these flushes. When I would have saw it get under 340, I might have took it. And then of course, I would have missed this move. But that's the beauty of the strategy, is when you're super extended like this, we're up here now. But if you're super extended like this, if she were to jump over 50 on this next candle, just think of how more extended this would appear. So the whole point would be, if you're in at, we'll say 347 to give us a bad fill, that say she jumps up to 370. So now she just jumps up because she broke a half dollar. Everybody's jumping in, we're over 350, we're going to the moon. That's when you just add to your position up at 370, because now once you hit that top at 370, the odds are all these buyers are just going to be done buying. Like, you're not going to have anyone else to buy just yet, because no one wants to buy a super extended stock. So what's left to do? All the people that were in down here, they're going to start taking profit. The ones that got in on this pullback, anyone that maybe got in here for the breakout over the high of day at this time, which was 337. So everyone that was riding this, that hung in for the break over 350, all that selling pressure is going to come down at once. All the people that are going to be shorting it's all going to hit at once, and that's what creates these. When you get overextended, you get these big red bars most of the time right afterwards, because you have the odds in your favor that you have everyone taking profit. You have the shorts shorting an overextended stock, and everything just kind of combines, into that moment, which then brings the candle down. So to me, I feel like this strategy is one of the better ones, and I'm absolutely loving it right now, because everything, I might not hit the top, but even if I didn't, say I'm in 347, she jumps up to 370, she's super extended, I'm trying to, get up in there, say I even get it at like 365, and say she comes back down, I'm going to, say I use 300 shares on the first one, I'm going to use 300 shares on the second one for sure. if I get at 365, say she shoots down to even like 360, I can take those 300 shares that I just added at 365, and now my average moves up, and I actually profited a small amount on those top 300 shares. So my realize is actually going to be negative. However, I bettered my average, and I'm back to my original 300 shares. So if you take 347, 365, right in the middle. So you're like right around like 355 at this point. So if she comes crashing back down after that big extension, and you catch, say, this move and down to 326, I mean, you can do the math. Now you're up 30 cents, instead of, in this move, if you're in at 347, the max you could have got was 20 cents. So that extra jump, the overextension, like if you get in and it jumps on you, you can't be afraid. You just need to manage the trade. A lot of people, they would say, all right, I'm going to get in 347, and then it jump, and they're setting their stop loss at 351. So if it does go over, they're going to get out and reevaluate. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your strategy, that's fine. It would have worked in this case, correct? I mean, you could have held on to this for the rest of the day, and you would have made out, 40 plus cents. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, dollars per hour per se. So I'm looking to be in, and I'm looking to get out. So that was FTR. If you guys have any questions about any of this, please do not hesitate. Just write down in the comment section below. You can ask me for my email. We can go over anything. I love doing this, guys. I love talking about this stuff. And, I'm here to answer any questions. I'm learning with you guys. I'm not trying to act like I know it all. I don't. I'm making these videos to document my journey. And I'm hoping that one day I can look back on these videos and say, wow, I've come a long way. Just looking back at some of my first trades that I ever made back in August of last year, I can't believe I made those trades. Like, knowing what I know now, just in the matter of 8 months, I can't believe I made those trades. And maybe one day we'll go back and actually take a look at them. But for right now, we got one more to look at, CVNA. And this was an after hours play. Now, granted, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is too expensive. That's fine. This was definitely an earnings play. But, earnings or not, I mean, look at the move this thing made on both sides. And I don't even know if it was good or bad because, I mean, it shot down. I'm assuming it's good because she actually shot down and then went back up and she stayed up. So I'm going to assume it was decent earnings. So let's just go over this real quick. She comes in the after hours, they have their earnings, and it just drops. I mean, this is typical to like a dip and rip. Sometimes at the bell, you'll see this happen. Where a lot of people just kind of take profit, but in this case, that doesn't really make sense. So some people must have read that it was bad earnings. People just jumped on board. They panicked and they sold out. And look how extended we get from VWAP here. It's just super extended. And then sure enough, she bottoms out right here. Was this 36.50? Yep, right at 36.50. She bottomed out. So if you were trying to feel this out, and a lot of times this really happens quickly because, I mean, look at the volume. I'm more so showing you a pattern here, but this is something that you should never trade. I personally don't think that you should ever trade these. But this is just more of the pattern you're looking for, and this is just what it should look like. Maybe not with all these tails. It could look a little bit cleaner, but I'm just trying to show you the overextension that you're looking for, in these trades. And it works both ways. I showed you two that were shorts. You can do this on the bull side as well. It's perfectly fine. But you're looking to buy, fear, sell, euphoria. It's really that easy. And as you can see, I have I technically have two indicators on my chart. I have VWAP, and I keep the trade line on here because I know a lot of people use it. So if I'm getting ready to get into a trade, I just want to make sure that, those being the two major things that traders look at, I just want to make sure I'm not getting into a trade where, it doesn't completely feel like I have an edge. Find your edge and trade it. Best thing anyone could ever tell you. So right here, she gets super overextended, 36.50, and sure enough, people start scooping it up, and she jumps all the way back up to $43 through VWAP. But even if you didn't catch that, I mean, this thing closed at over $41. Just insane. I mean, look at the volume though. There's like no volume. Again, don't pay attention to volume on this. I'm just trying to show you. So this does happen during the intraday, and it happens on, not every day, but I mean, this would be a perfect setup. You could play this both ways. So you scoop it, you technically could ride this thing up, And look how extended she gets on the upper, on the top side of VWAP here. She gets all the way up to 45.14. And sure enough, what happens? You could have felt this out. Let's actually look at this on the 1 minute. It might look a little bit better. It doesn't look too much better. Actually, it looks worse. And this is why I don't like to trade on the 1 minute anymore, because I feel like it's too busy for me. Because as you can see, like, look at these like wicks. Like I don't really like seeing all these wicks, and on the 1 minute it just gets super busy. I'm actually gonna go back to the 2 minute. I don't like looking at that. So we come back up and we extend to 45.14, and if you could have even felt this out, it's just somewhere above 44, and she drops all the way back down to VWAP, which was right around 41 at the time. I mean, or actually a little higher than 41. Just absolutely nuts. And this happens, from time to time, where you can play both sides, because what happens is you get the fear and panic, and people sell, people scoop it up, and then everyone that was in here that was looking for that was short in here, they start to cover, and all the people that are like, holy crap, I'm buying everyone that's panicking, because in this case earnings were actually not bad, and then people start buying and covering all at the same time, and that's what creates the short squeeze. And sure enough, she just squeezes right on up here, and then once you get up here, now you have it's the other way around. Now you have all the shorts that had gotten out up here. They're like, okay, I want to get back in because she's overextended. And then you also have all the people that just bought on the way up that are selling. And it's over and over again. That's how you get your waves within the stock market. But it really comes down to that, guys. You're looking for these intense moves. That was there on CVNA, FTR. We can scroll back and look at that one at the bell. Having trouble there. This one, as you can see, this wasn't even super extended, but this wasn't a huge move. But it still has, that extension from VWAP. And remember, like I said, in real time, this is going to look a lot more extended than it does now, because VWAP started creating itself and comes up with the price action. And then we had the other one, which was DERM. And this one to me looks like it was even more extended. So, and I believe one more real quick, just to throw it in there. Nope, didn't give you. Oh yeah, it actually gave you. I remember seeing that, but that's not worth looking at. Your percentage gain there isn't worthwhile. I was just checking it out. But anyways, guys, hopefully this helps you guys. Like I said before, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, if you want to talk about a certain strategy, let me know. I'll be back to trading tomorrow. Like and subscribe. I appreciate that very much. I'm looking to do big things here, guys, for myself. If I can help anybody along the way, that's awesome. That's what I'm here. That's the only reason I'm doing this. This is more of a journal for me. And if I can help you guys, as I hopefully succeed in my trading career moving forward, then that's awesome. But if you guys have any questions or concerns, I love to bounce ideas off of anyone that can help me, help you, help me, however you want to say that. But let's just get at it, let's learn, become the best that we can be. We need to all find our individual styles. This is definitely mine. I'm sure you can see how passionate I am about it. I want to master this one style, and then maybe I can branch out some more. I know you guys have seen me trade the ascending, descending triangle as well. That's kind of my back burner trade, but really this, I'm calling it the pop and drop. That's kind of what I call this. Is I'm looking for those pops, and then I'm looking to short them or scoop them up, and then I'm looking to sell into, obviously the pop and drop is more so for the short, but I call it the same thing for scooping it. But you're just looking for that quick move. You're looking for the top or the bottom, and you're looking for that quick move back the other way. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, just leave them down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.